Welcome back to episode 2. I warn you now that nothing really interesting happens, but everyone nearly dies at least once. I also realised that I was narrating the last one, like I was in that therapy scene in Severance. Your outie has a passion for construction, and enjoys harvesting skulls from your enemies to make pain spikes for decorations. So I'm changing how I say things, and it's now we, comrade. Also, this video will be more screenshots, but I'm hoping the next one will have some actual footage of the game, so you can see everyone in action. This also means that you're more than welcome to put this on in the background and just listen to it and not miss much. Before we begin, let me give you a tour of the base so far. We have some really simple sleeping areas, eating place, and a production place. The really interesting part is the rest of the world. It looks like some kind of human versus mech war zone. Like, look at the tanks and just bits of enemies. I haven't actually looked at any official RimWorld lore videos, but this is given apocalyptic chic. We left off with our colonists experiencing a heatwave. This proved not good, as combined with a severe case of food poisoning, both Chambers and Lou became very sick and unable to move. A quest was received to harbour a fugitive who knew some incriminating information and needed to be hidden for their safety. I accepted the reward of a new colonist joining after the quest was over, which we really needed. We experienced an eclipse, and the heatwave eventually passed. Lou and Chambers luckily recovered, and Levi changed his look yet again. In order to try and combat the food poisoning, I installed a wooden floor in the kitchen. Who'd have thought that cooking over dirt would be unsanitary? To add insult to injury, 2 colonists got malaria, and I have a feeling this series will be over very quickly at this rate. Levi and Lou started dating. I'm sure we're very much hoping it works out. Love is so cute. A few quests occurred, like people just wanting to visit the colony, become one of us, but they passed without incident, and the extra hands always helps. Just look at how the base looks now. A tax collector came around. This happens twice a year, and you can give them gold in exchange for goodwill or honour with the Dominion, who are like the main power in the world. I didn't give them anything though for obvious reasons, mainly because I'm broke. But also fight the man, am I right? A big moment happened when we were offered the chance to rebel against the Dominion and accept a traitor. The traitor, Antonia, that's not how it's written, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it, would join us and show us the location of 2 psylinks, which is basically like allowing the colonists to get space magic. I agreed and incurred the wrath of the Dominion, which meant little to me as the raid they sent was just some dude carrying uranium for some reason. The really fun part was he died in an ambrosia field, which I hadn't noticed, so that was down to harvest very quickly. We set off as a group to find the place they said the location of the psylinks were. May got hurt, but everyone managed to make it back. We also invited some refugees to stay before they moved on, and it included a pig person. It's not often someone other than a baseliner turns up on camp. They were all very useful and helped with things like researching and tailoring, which I hadn't really been concentrating on at that point, since everyone seems to be at the point of a mental breakdown, but aren't we all? Am I right, lads? Levi and Lou made the announcement that they intended to marry each other, which was rather lovely, apart from the fact that if they get split up or one of them dies, the other one will go feral. That's what soulmates are for. A strange stranger appeared, with a rather high charisma score, asking to join. I accepted. There's nothing that can go wrong here. I can't think of a single reason why things might go wrong. Rachel seems lovely. I hope she'll feel at home here. So as of now, our permanent colonists are May, Lou, Chambers, Levi the High Mate, Hadley, who I got as a reward for the quest, Rachel the mysterious stranger, and Antonia the traitor. At some point, nearly everyone got sick from muscle parasites, which genuinely sounds disgusting. The cold weather is approaching, so there's a big push to get crops planted and harvested, as well as to make warm clothes like parkas. Luckily, with all the new joiners to the colony, I can plant more exotic plants, which I can process and trade with and hopefully get more money and useful stuff. We've also started researching stuff to get proper production going. This game is fully vanilla with no mods, but I am debating adding some for extra items. I decided to start trading with nearby colonies and sent mysterious Rachel and Antonia the traitor to go sell some goats and hopefully get some cotton, so we can make a pool table since people are getting bored of the horseshoes game I got them. They arrived there and I traded the goats and some ambrosia for a donkey and some cotton. Once the plants start growing, we can process them, and we'll have to establish some proper trade routes. As I was waiting for the caravan to form, I noticed something terrible. There was a wildfire very close to the anima tree. Luckily, I don't think any actual colonists have the religion that requires the tree, but that's where I put the marriage spot because I thought it would look nice. I've also finally gotten around to installing some lights, which is a little late, as the darkness caused one of the guests to go mad and develop a corpse obsession. The first snow started to hit, and so I have poor Levi working overtime making parkas for everyone so they don't freeze. Makes a change from the heatwave we had last time. Hannibal the guest was close to a breakdown, aren't we all? So I checked his needs and saw this. Observed a rotting corpse. That meant that as part of the corpse obsession, they went to dug up one and hide it somewhere on the base. Except they didn't hide it, they just left a whole spine and rib cage on the skull where people eat their food. That's a bit gross. Whilst the two colonists were away trading, we got raided again. This time by a grand total of 2 people. And it wasn't the poison team either. It appears that the League of Cuke has entered the area and thinks it can muscle in on my turf. To be fair, they did have frag grenades, and we have clubs. Somehow we won, but May and Lou are in serious condition, and I need to consider expanding the hospital. One of the guests, Lucia, offered to join, and of course I accepted, which was surprising, because the dusty band of travellers decided to betray me. They turned hostile and started doing major property damage, including setting a fire that was an absolute pain to stop. Most of them perished, but I was able to capture one alive. Now I need to decide what to do with this traitor. Lastly, a group of shamblers has been seen approaching. They're creepy and inhuman corpses. And that's it for today. Seems like such a long video for not much to happen in. Will Lou survive long enough to marry Levi, or are these star-crossed lovers doomed? Who is the mysterious Rachel, and what does she want with our colony? Will I accept this weird quest of hosting someone who won't do any work and only wants good accommodation that I cannot provide? And what will happen with the murderous shamblers? Find out next time on I still don't have a name for this. Any suggestions? Anyone?